the time, let me speak in English. The question was about the situation of Egypt. Mubarak was there, some people went against him, they took him away, then the people chose Morsi, then Sisi go against him and people go against him, and there is now a new leadership president. So to whom we should listen and obey. Let us remind you again, going against Mubarak is haram. Going against the ruler in general, it's haram, it's not allowed. As we heard the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Disobedience does not mean kufr. Disobedience, it is not one of the reasons that allowed us to go against the ruler. You heard the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he instructed us to listen and obey, and if he ordered anything against the will of Allah Azza wa Jal, we should not obey, but we should not leave his bay'ah pledge or go against him. So those who went against Mubarak, then Morsi was chosen as president, and he was the president and Wali al-Amr without a doubt. Then the people went against him. Again, going against Morsi was another haram, because it's the same style, khuruj. Khuruj al-Hakim is not allowed in general. But the position of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, إذا خرج إنسان على إمام ولو كان إمام عادل فالخروج أصله محرم، لكن لو هذا الخارج تغلب وخضعت له البلاد فيصبح هو ولي الأمر وطاعته واجبة. So going against Morsi again was khuruj against the ruler, which is haram. But the position, the stance of Ahl Sunnah, if somebody goes against the ruler, even that ruler was the most just ruler in this dunya, if somebody goes against him and control the country and rule it, have the army, have the police, have everything under his control, so this one, in spite of his sin, he becomes the new leader of this country. And we should listen and obey to that person. We should not keep fighting. We should not make another khuruj. This is the way how I mentioned the fatwa of Ibn Taymiyyah, the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fi as-sam'i wa ta'a. Of course, people in general, we have a problem with this because people do not differentiate بين وقت الاختيار ووقت الاضطرار. When we have the time to choose our Amir, no doubt we should choose the pious one. No doubt we should choose the one who has more knowledge. No doubt we should the one who is the strongest in the deen. This is when we have the time to choose. But if something happened, as in Egypt, a president was taken away, the country was controlled already. This is not a time to choose what type of Amir you want to. هذا متغلب. This is somebody who overcome, control everything. So the obligation is to listen and obey to that ruler. Is to listen and obey to that ruler. Whether we like it, whether we do not like it. Because going against him will raise and will make the problem bigger, and the evil is bigger. And almost, even though we have a lot of ahadith in the Sunnah, but still we can see it by our own eyes, what's going on in the Muslim countries that they have. I do not call it Arabic Spring, Al-Rabi', I call it As-Saqi', because Rabi' brings fruits, flowers, right? But Saqi', I don't know how you call it, destroy everything. And that's what happened exactly in our country. إن شاء الله سنعطيكم المجال جميعا. طيب, let us remind you, because we are a little tighted by the time, and if I am not able to answer the holy question tonight, I promise to answer the question next lecture. Don't worry about it. But let me remind you with this. Next Friday we will not be here. We will be Saturday. We will have the gym. We will try to take the whole from 8 o'clock, not 7:30. Because 7:30 Maghrib now, it will be maybe 10 to 8, or maybe 8 to 8, Allahu A'lam. So we'll try to take it 8 to 10. We will have the gym from 8 to 10. We have a aqiqah also here. So our lecture will be short. Will not be that long, to give you the gap and the room to eat. Some brother will bring the aqiqah here, and inshallah he prepared for 100 person at least. So be with us inshallah تعالى. Go ahead.
Sheikh, the question was asked to Sheikh Ibn Taymiyyah, and you read the statement or his ruling about when he was asked about Hussein when he went against the rulers.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm sure the knowledge of Ibn Taymiyyah is not more knowledge than Hussein. So why Hussein he went against the ruler? So the other thing is Bashar is a kafir, period. So the people should go against him.
Okay.
And the other thing is also in Egypt, like Salafi, they also they don't like to go against the ruler, but still they went out and they went against Mubarak. So this is like contradicting their.
Let us clarify, inshallah. So the first three concerns, the brother brought three concerns. The first one, he said that the fatwa that you recited from Ibn Taymiyyah, Al-Hussein has more knowledge than Ibn Taymiyyah. So why Al-Hussein went against Yazid? That's the question. Of course, our role model is not Al-Hussein nor Ibn Taymiyyah. Our role model is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we listen to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he forbade going against the ruler. Period. So if Al-Hussein did it, he was mistaken, rahimahullah wa ghafarallahu lahu. If Ibn al-Ash'ad did it, ghafarallahu lahu. Abdullah ibn Zubayr did it, ghafarallahu lahu. That does not mean that we will take the action of those person to put those action or statement over the statement or action of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If the time, I know that we do not have enough time, but this is the ijma' of the ummah. I can give you more than 50 statements where ulama of Salaf transmitted the ijma' ala hurmat al-khuruj. 50 statements where the scholars from Sahaba, Tabi'een and others up to our time where they said it is haram to go against the ruler. This is the first concern. The second concern was about Mubarak, right? Bashar. Bashar, he is a kafir. He said, the brother said, Bashar is a kafir, period. So people has to go against him. Of course, a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we mentioned was clear. If there is a kufr with dalil, evidence, clear evidence, dalil, there is a permission to go against that ruler, but, and put 100 lines now. There are some conditions you have to fulfill. Number one, al-quwwah. Al-i'dad, you have to be ready, you have to be prepared, you have to have the power to fight against that kafir. But it is not allowed in Islam to go with the sticks and the stones against tanks and the planes. You are killing yourself. You are killing yourself. So even with the kafir, there is conditions. Minha, the first condition, the preparation, al-quwwah, وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. But we do not have enough power to fight, so be quiet. Prepare yourself. Till you have that power, then you can go against him if he is a kafir. Number two, غلبة الظن على أن المفسدة التي ستحصل من الخروج عليه أقل من المفسدة التي هو فيها أو فيما لو بقي. The second thing that we should understand that if we go against him, we will not cause a lot more harm or more evil or bigger evil than the evil that we have. The third thing that we should put in our mind, that we have to have a candidate, a good pious person to take the power after that. But to drive away a leader, then we will say, if the boxes, the election, give us a Christian person to be a leader, well, we will accept it. Is that the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal? Is that the deen? If you accept the kafir, if the election give you a kafir to be your president, so considered Mubarak as a kafir, why you go against him? Because you are putting kafir instead of a kafir. So what's the use? This is not the deen. This is not the way how to look at the deen even. So you have to have a pious person ready to control and take over. But taking a one without ability. We don't know how long it will take to take him. And we don't know if we'll be successful or not. And we don't have anybody ready. They will put everybody to be equal. The Christian, the communist, the liberalist in the same constitution. Then after that we said we want to move. If the kafir is kafir, proved his kufr by the scholars, then it is up to the scholars only to decide when to go. It's not up to the public. Because if the public start moving, nobody can make them sit down. Wallahi, if you bring the Sahabi, a companion, in any of these mayadeen, circles, and he said, don't go against the ruler, they will say to him, Amilun Nizam. No doubt. The agent of the president, Amilud Dawla, Amil Kala. Because people should not be involved in this fitna. People will never hear or listen to you even when you involve people in the fitna. العوام لا ينبغي له. والأمر الثالث نسيت.
Salafi.
Some Salafi in Egypt, they participate. Again, is the Salafi in Egypt حزب النور يمثل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ودين الإسلام والتعليمات التي سمعناها؟ هل السلفي حزب النور enough by making a party, enough by confirming and signing the وثيقة, the document of the Ahzab, enough to be a part of a group, you are opposing the Salaf from the beginning, from point one. Because as Salaf, they never knew the groups or the Jama'at or Ahzab. They never knew that. So Noor is not our good model, is not our model to follow. They are mistaken, whether they said Salafi or Khalafi or whatever the name. We stick to the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We stick to the manhaj of the Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim. إجماع الصحابة ابن عمر وغيرهم من هو أفضل من الحسين رفضوا ولم يشاركوا في شيء. ولذلك إن شاء الله تعالى, I know that we have just 10 minutes. I will stop here. I promise, as I said, if you have any question, next lecture, we can make it a question and answer. The 30 minutes only for a question and answer, and to have the food of the aqiqah, inshallah ta'ala. And I promise to do that, inshallah ta'ala, if you have any concern more, the thing that I explained to you. جزاكم الله خير وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله. صلاة العشاء now, inshallah, we are going for Isha.